My story takes place on my 30th birthday, September 6, 1990. It was a warm, beautiful Saturday. I had planned a small get-together for myself and my daughter, who was about to turn 12. But before the party, we went to my dad's house for our usual Saturday morning bagel routine. My stepmom, Linda, was there. I had never liked her. She had these cold, calculating eyes that seemed to scan everything like she was adding up dollar signs. She was always talking about my dad's assets, the house, the savings, the property. It always felt like she married him for security, not love. My dad, a kind and cheerful man, wasn't there that morning. He was at his parents' house, mowing their lawn. He had called me earlier, his voice bright and full of life. "Happy birthday, Rabio," he'd said. "See you later." That simple, loving exchange was the last time I would ever hear his voice. The kids were playing, and we were enjoying bagels and coffee. The atmosphere was light and normal. Then the phone rang. Linda answered it. I saw her face go completely white, as if all the blood had drained out. She kept repeating, her voice shaky. "A stroke? A stroke?" Felt like she was acting. I didn't hesitate. My sister and I grabbed the kids and sped over to my grandparents' house. On the drive, I was trying to stay calm. I played a superstitious game. If I get all green lights, he's fine. If a bird flies by, he's okay. The warm September air was blowing in. But everything felt terribly wrong. As we pulled up, I heard a sound that still haunts me. A loud, gut-wrenching wailing coming from inside. It was my real grandmother, crumpled over on the porch, sobbing so hard it echoed down the street. It was the sound of pure sorrow. My daughter found my dad's smashed glasses in the grass. A small, chilling detail. The family soon learned the truth. My father hadn't had a stroke. It was a massive heart attack. The grief was overwhelming. But I couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong with the way it all happened. What I would discover months later would expose a chilling truth that turned my entire world upside down. The rest of that day was a blur. The party was canceled. Linda showed up later, putting on a show of distress. But I noticed her eyes darting around the room. But if she was already assessing her next move, the house, the money, the property. I tried to ignore it, telling myself that grief makes people do strange things. A few months later, while helping Linda sort through my dad's belongings, I found a small, unlabeled bottle hidden deep inside a kitchen cabinet. Contained a thick, dark liquid. Curious, I took it home and did some research. What I discovered was terrifying. The liquid matched the description of a homemade mixture with dioxin, a heart medication that can be lethal in high doses. My heart pounded in my chest. My dad's death had been ruled natural. But this bottle told a different story. I sent a sample to a lab anonymously, and it tested positive for the lethal substance. I started piecing it all together. Linda had been a nurse. She had complained about my dad's finances, and she was eager to sell everything quickly. This wasn't an accident. This was a cold, calculated murder. But would the police believe me? And would I be able to get justice for my father? I anonymously contacted the police, who reopened the case. They found traces of dioxin in my father's exhumed body and discovered foxglove plants in Linda's garden. Emails on her computer detailing natural heart remedies and inheritance laws sealed her fate. Linda was arrested and, despite her pleas of innocence, was convicted of murder and sentenced to life in prison. My birthday will forever be a reminder of the night I lost my dad. My story is a cautionary tale about how a simple joke can spiral into a life-threatening nightmare. It was my 16th birthday, and my older brother, Alan, a known prankster, had a surprise planned. A fake home invasion with hired actors. The plan was for them to scare everyone, then reveal it was all a joke. At 9 p.m., the lights flickered, and the back door slammed open. For figures in black ski masks rushed in, shouting, "Everyone on the ground!" They held what looked like fake pistols. My friends screamed, but I just chuckled to myself. hissing to my friend, "Dude, this is Alan's prank. Chill." The intruders herded everyone into the living room, zip-tying our hands with plastic ties. Alan, who was also captured, winked at me when no one was looking. But then, a few details started to feel off. One of the actors wasn't following the script. What began as a funny prank was slowly revealing itself to be something much more sinister. One of the masked men, a shorter, bulkier guy, was rummaging through drawers in the kitchen, pocketing a jewelry box. My alarm bells began to ring. That's not part of the prank, I thought, but I tried to brush it off. Then the man came back not with a toy, but with a real kitchen knife, but pressed it against my friend Sophia's arm. When she flinched and a thin line of blood appeared, my heart began to pound. "Wait, that's real blood," I muttered. But my friends thought I was still joking. The chaos escalated. The man smashed a vase and started collecting everyone's phones. He yanked the landline cord from the wall. Alan finally realized the horror of the situation. "Okay, prank's over, guys. Stop," he yelled. The three actors stopped. But the fourth man, the real criminal, didn't. He sprinted out the door with a bag full of stolen goods and vanished into the night. A harmless birthday prank had turned into a full-fledged home invasion. But would the police be able to catch the man who got away? The police arrived, and everyone was shaken. Sophia needed stitches, and Emily had a concussion. The hired actors explained everything to the police. But the real criminal was long gone. The police theorized he had seen the actors arrive, blended in, and used the prank as a cover for his robbery. He was never caught. My birthday is now a permanent reminder of how a foolish joke can become a real horror. My final story takes place at my 21st birthday party in Atlanta. I had rented a spacious Airbnb with a large backyard for a big barbecue. I invited about 30 friends and family, including my 14-year-old brother, Jake. The party was in full swing when a man in his late 30s showed up. He had a backpack slung over his shoulder and a plain black hoodie. He smiled and said he was a friend of a friend, so I, thinking nothing of it, let him in. The man blended into the crowd. But as the night went on, I started to notice some strange things. The stranger didn't talk to anyone, he just hovered, listening. My friend Nichols pulled me aside, saying, "That guy in the hoodie creeps me out. I swear I saw him drop something in a cup." My stomach tightened. I watched the stranger closely and saw him lean over a line of Solo cups, his hand moving quickly. My heart began to race. Was he trying to drug someone? He was a predator in plain sight. But I had no idea that the stranger's target wasn't one of my friends. It was my little brother. I confronted the man, who gave me a fake smile before grabbing his backpack and leaving. I thought that was the end of it. But around midnight, my phone rang. It was my mom, frantic. "Where's Jake?" she asked. My heart stopped. My brother was gone. My friends helped me search the house, but he was nowhere to be found. A cousin said she had seen the stranger talking to Jake earlier, luring him outside with the promise of showing him a cool game on his phone. I immediately called 911, and the police showed up quickly. I gave them a detailed description of the man, and they put out an alert. The night was a blur of panic and fear. Would they find Jake? Or was he already gone forever? The answer came in the dead of night, and it was a horrifying close call. Around 4 a.m., the police called. They had found the stranger hiding in an abandoned warehouse. He had Jake's phone and some small plastic bags with white powder, which the police believed were drugs. Jake was found wandering nearby, scared but thankfully unharmed. He told the police the man tried to get him to go somewhere. But Jake got spooked and ran away. The man took his phone. The police are still investigating what the stranger's ultimate plan was, but they believe he was targeting kids at parties. My 21st birthday, meant to be a joyous occasion, will forever be a reminder of the night I nearly lost my brother. These stories serve as a stark reminder that danger can lurk in the most unexpected places. It's a reminder to be aware of your surroundings and to listen to your instincts. Because sometimes the scariest stories are the ones that are true.